3, 2, 1.
Dire team ban. Radiant team ban.
Hello everybody, my name is Blue, and I'm bringing you guys this game in the Join Dota League number 4, or season 4. This is OG, or Oblique Gaming versus, Oblique Gaming versus Eury Anonymous, or Eury
10 seconds
Eury Anonymous, and I still can't pronounce that right. Me and pronunciation hard. But yeah, this is going to be the second game in this series. OG put on a nice show last game. They had a nice little handily crafted, I guess that's the word I'm looking for, handily crafted lead that they held on to for quite a while. Eury put on a fantastic defense at the end, but ultimately they weren't able to hold on to it. They had a nice little mad scrap for their final Raxus, and they weren't able to do much with it. But all that said, I'm expecting to see a fantastic game this time around. We saw OG put on a nice little aggressive based type strat, whereas Eury more or less had to get their carries farmed up. They had a Naga Siren last time around. They also had a Razor, and they had a Marana. And once the Naga Siren and Marana got online, they actually started doing things, but it was a little bit too late. Too many towers were taking, a lot of control was displayed by OG. Basically, they had a Tidehunter and a Sand King, and a lot of things happened because of those two. So I'm actually quite surprised to see that there's no Sand King ban by Eury, to be completely honest with you. With all that said and done, we see a first pick of Death Prophet by OG, and we see actually Eury picking up the Tidehunter for themselves to have their own bit of team fight. Brewmaster too, so Brewmaster does make it through. Finally, we'll get to see him be broken as all get out once he pops his ult. Basically, Tidehunter and Brewmaster have the team fight, or are the definition of team fight. And Death Prophet, she's really good versus, to a certain extent, really good versus Brewmaster, because she can technically hit all of his spirits at the same time with her ulti. But all that said and done, Brewmaster should have a lot more control. It's more reliable basic control, whereas Death Prophet is kind of more reliable on having people run away from her, or just stand still and take damage and die from the physical damage from the ghost. So Death Prophet versus what we see so far, I think Eury have the tools necessary to handle it. That said, OG do decide to pick him up over Magi, who has a nice bit of control. If they can basically just nuke down Brewmaster before his ulti does go off, or nuke down Tidehunter, as we saw Eury actually do a few times last time around. If they can actually do that, then they can actually basically make any team fight in their favor right off the bat. So speaking really quickly on the bans, we see a Viper banned out. We also see a Terrorblade getting banned out once again, so we won't be able to see him get played. I'm very sad. One day I'll be able to get to see Terrorblade be played, and I get to know the definition of why he's always banned. I'm pretty sure it has something to do with Metamorphosis being super strong. But that said, we have Skywrath Mage banned out. We also see a Faceless Void banned out by OG. Skywrath Mage getting banned out. Last time around, he did do quite a bit as far as helping Gyrocup to get a lot of easy early kills, because there was a Gyro plus a Skywrath Mage on OG side. It looks like OG are instead going to go ahead and ban out the Sky. Which I actually thought Sky would have been decent versus someone like a Brewmaster. That's a nice little silencer throw on top of him. That said, they might get a silencer on OG side just to make sure they can cancel all the big ultis, because right now Eury are very ulti or ultimate spell dependent. And if they can just get a silencer on their team, they can just basically make it very easy for them to just make sure that, hey, you have an ulti, so what? You can't use it right now for 5 seconds because I just popped the Global Silence. So we'll just have to wait and see how they do decide to play this out, or how OG decide to pick their next few picks. They banned out the Faceless Void, and on the side of Eury, they banned out the Razor, Centaur, Warren, Anti-Mage, and PA. Basically, people who can carry pretty hard, or people who have a nice bit of explosive damage. So maybe that they're trying to go for a soft type carry. They might be going for something like a Weaver, or they could very well be going for somebody or another carry that doesn't actually have a bunch of HP. Maybe like I'm trying to think, who can PA explode? She can explode a Weaver. That's given. I'm trying to think any other logical carries for somebody to go for. I think Weaver's the only one I can think of. That's really the only one I can think of. So they may be going for Weaver on Eury's side, which actually be nice, especially considering they have so much control with Tide and Brew, that Weaver can just do his Sakuchi thing, jump in and jump out of those team fights, and just show up with some right click and just do massive amounts of damage.
5 seconds remaining.
Excuse me. Oh, another person would be Gyrocup. He can actually do well versus what they're facing so far. But a PA being banned out by Eury kind of tells me that they're trying to go for some softer carry. And I'm trying to rack my brain to think of somebody besides Weaver, but he's really the only one that comes to mind. When I think of a carry with not a bunch of HP that dies extremely easily, when he just takes a bunch of damage at one time. That said, let's talk about what we actually see in front of us instead of speculating for what may be coming forward. We see OG, they do decide to get themselves a, okay, we got Wisp.
Team pick.
We just might see ourselves a CK Wisp or Spin Wisp or Tiny Wisp. I think those are the only three I can think of. Ooh, Ricky Wisp, holy crap. If we see a Ricky Wisp, I'll be excited, I'll be very happy. Ricky, I wouldn't say Ricky is extremely low HP as far as carry. I don't think he can carry as hard as a PA, to be honest. But with a new Ricky, I guess he can. But if it was just a PA versus Ricky, if it was strictly PA farmed versus Ricky farmed, I think Ricky should be able to win that fight now. Before, I think Ricky might have lost that fight. If PA, assuming that she had a dust, she could just explode him and just have a fun-filled day, just make sure he dies. But nowadays, Ricky can be a lot more elusive. That said, Ricky Wisp, I haven't seen it in quite a while. I've seen a lot more people rely on CK Wisp. I've seen a lot more people rely on other things such as Tiny Wisp or Spin Wisp because that's still more reliable than a Ricky Wisp. Ricky Wisp is more or less a toss-up in the air, really, to be honest. But that said, if we do see a Ricky get picked up, guys, I totally called it. I'm just going to say I totally called it. I'm just throwing it out there. Everybody, just go and get my cool points if I get that. Anyway. Talking about the rest of the picks, you see a Barrett and Witch Doctor picked up. Witch Doctor has a phenomenal ability to just do a crap ton of damage without having to actually do the damage. He just presses R and does a bunch of damage. So once he gets his Aggro Scepter, he's going to be fantastic versus Wisp plus whoever she decides to shack up with. Lich will be another person who's really good versus Wisp plus whoever, but unfortunately he is on Wisp is on Eury's side. Lich is on Eury's side.
5 seconds remaining.
So OG will not have the opportunity to pick that up. Also Casket versus the Wisp whoever combination. That's gonna be fantastic as well. We could very well see a Brewmaster Wisp too. I've seen that a few times. And for those who are confused and may not know, Wisp is actually IO. Wisp was IO's old name, but I still call it Wisp because that's how I got used to calling it. But that said, Brewmaster plus Wisp will be a nice combination too. Basically, just relocate Brewmaster in. He drops a Thunderclap, pops his ulti, drops another Thunderclap, assuming he has an Axe, and then just kills whoever shows up. And that's pretty much how it works. So right now we have a little bit of flexibility with the Wisp. She doesn't necessarily have to be tied directly to a Tiny Spin or a CK, but it would be best if a Wisp had a Tiny Wisp or CK in this game, or sorry, Tiny Spin or CK in this game to actually help him be continuously useful instead of just tagging along with the Brewmaster for some situational kills here or there. So Eury actually taking their sweet time thinking about who to ban out. We're waiting for OG to have a carry picked up, unless they want to go for a carry Death Prophet, which I am never a fan of. I like Death Prophet better as a mid who just does damage. I don't like her much as a carry. They do decide to ban out the Medusa, which is good. Split shot will basically kill all of Brewmaster's familiars, or basically kill Wisp and whoever is involved, and just all Medusa has to do is press Q and kill everything. I think it's Q. Split shot Q. Pretty sure split shot is... Oh, crap. I don't know what key split shot is. Oh no, I forgot. I can't check. Whatever. If it's Q, then I'll claim all the points. If it's not, then I'll take the offense. CK does get banned out by OG. I'm still waiting to see Ricky. Come on, pick a Ricky. I'll pick a Spin. Damn it. Okay, so Spin does get picked up. We're gonna check to see if Ricky's actually on the captain's mode. I actually think he might have got taken out because they did change him quite a bit. Because if he's not in captain's mode, I'll be very sad. Because I spent all this time talking about him, he's not even in the mood. I can't use for captains. Anyway, we got Spin being picked up by the Wisp. I actually like Spin Wisp. Not as much as Tiny Wisp, but I like Spin Wisp because it can be explosive very fast. So basically, Wisp can relocate in. Spin can just drop a Storm Hammer, pop his ult, get an overcharge from Wisp, and just go to work, go to town, smacking around whoever is involved in the fight. And also Wisp basically encourages Finn to get something like a Mask of Madness because of Overcharge, because Mask of Madness increases your incoming damage by 15%. Once Wisp has 3 points instead of Overcharge, that's basically reducing all the incoming damage, and Finn just gets free free attack speed from Mask of Madness plus lifesteal. Of course, Wisp is going to be losing HP, and yeah, it's a drawback, but whatever. And it's a trade-off. There has to be some sort of trade-off, otherwise it's not balanced. I'm going to the other OG side. They picked up a Slark for the carry. I'm actually going to be excited to see if we see a Shadowblade Scotty Slark. We've seen those fairly frequently. So I'm going to pause right at the back. But a Shadowblade Scotty Slark is usually what we... usually pub style build, I guess. I've seen a few Slarks go for Butterflies as one of their core items. Of course, it was after like something like a... I don't know. After something like a Sanjay Yasha. Then they went for Butterfly afterwards. But I'm going to be very curious to see if we do see a Shadow Blade Scotty Slark. The main reason for that is because CK or Spin Wisp can actually just relocate in anywhere where Slark is at and just possibly go for a kill. That said, Slark is very, very, very mobile. If he does get a Shadow Blade, he can actually travel basically across the map by the time that Wisp and Spin actually are forced to relocate back to where they were. Slark can just be there ready to kill whoever shows up at that point in time. So I would like to see a Shadow Blade on Slark so he can just have that extra mobility. There's not really many ways to deal with the Shadow Blade Slark in this game, unless we do see a gem get picked up on Brewmaster or a gem get picked up on Tidehunter, but that's really about it. Lich will probably get the gem, he'll probably carry it for a little bit, but he probably won't hold on to it for forever if Slark does decide to get a Shadow Blade. All that said, let's go and do introductions so we can go ahead and get those out of the way so I can continue with my next level theory crafting. Starting off with this Wisp. We see way too easy playing that Wisp on Eury's side. On this Tidehunter, we see Cannon, or Kanoko. Cannon. On that Tidehunter, moving on to this Finn, who's hanging out down back, looking very... what's up with his helmet? I'm pretty sure that's not right. Something tells me that that's not right. I don't think Spin looks like that normally. Okay, that is okay. Right, that's how the helmet looks. Anyway, it looks really weird. It looks really crushed. Might be because he's running his cape is doing things. Anyway, we see Slaney on that Spin, moving over to this Lich. We see ourselves the one, the only Fatal on that Lich, and last but not least, of course, on this Brewmaster. Brewmaster, we see Ross on that Brewmaster. Moving to the side of OG on this person who hasn't picked up a hero yet. That would be a... We'll start off with the people we see, actually. On this Witch Doctor, we see ourselves I Am Legend. Moving over to this Death Prophet over here with this nice hair, wind-blown hair. It's just going to stay there like that. We see... Oh, we can't tell who it is. It's green. Who's green? Who's green? Green is Mr. Crawley on that Death Prophet. Moving over to this Ogre Magi. We see Hunter on the Ogre Magi, and on the Slark we see ourselves Prophecy on that Slark, and last one is on this person who's not picked up. We see A35. I'm trying to think who it was. Let's see, they got a Witch Doctor, Ogre Magi, Death Prophet, Slark. Darn, I don't remember. Don't remember who it was. It just happened. Oh wait, I can cheat. Oh yes, I can cheat. Go YouTube, go. Hold on, give me a second. Using the power of the internet, I'm going to rewind on my live stream and see who it was. Batrider, Jesus. A35 will be playing a Batrider. Thank you, Base God live stream. Alright, so yeah, that ends all the callouts for these guys, and we're just really waiting for the teams to actually come through. Actually, now that I think about it, I actually forgot to talk about the Batrider. There's a Batrider on the team of OG, so that means that they have a little bit more control than you may think. CK or Spin Wisp, they can actually roam around and do quite a bit. Batrider is likely going to be farming the jungle all by himself, so I'm expecting to see them maybe roam into the jungle and try to get a kill into a Batrider or two, just to make sure that he doesn't get his Blink Dagger a little bit too fast. All of that said and done, Batrider's lasso is going to be a big factor in these fights, of course. We're basically going to rely on him to drop his lasso on top of Lich and possibly get an easy kill on top of him, or maybe just pop his lasso on something like Brewmaster before he can pop his ult, or maybe have Tidehunter blink in, Batrider blink in to Tidehunter, and then Tidehunter gets lassoed so he can't pop his Ravage, and then Batrider just pull him off to somewhere safe so he can pop his Ravage and not affect anybody. But Batrider will be a big factor, and given the fact that we have a Batrider and a Slark on the same team, I just realized that is actually oh man, and a Death Prophet too. We have a lot of mobility, not necessarily like map like global mobility, but we have a lot of just basically really fast people who are really hard to hold down. Death Prophet getting into that more so what they like to call a race car build sometimes, but she just basically gets herself a Tornado Stick, and Tornado Stick plus Witchcraft gives her a lot of extra movement speed. Whereas Slark, on the other hand, Slark just basically gets, you know, not visioned, and he'll basically be able to move across the map pretty darn fast. Moving on to the other side, so let's see, right, reconnected. Alright, everybody reconnected, and Yeah, what else talking about Slark? Basically, Slark can move pretty darn fast, and he can move all around the map extremely fast. Once he does have a few points inside of Shadow Dance, probably 2 points. I think he moves at max move speeds with just power treads. Ogre Magi, he'll probably have TP scroll, but the main thing is that Bauer to Blink Dagger Force F, which is what we expect to see him get. He can be across the map. Well, he can be pretty far across the map. He can probably go from right about here to right about there with just both of those Blink Dagger Force Staffs, which is a nice little distance. If we were to measure that, that'd be like, 77 hammer units. Oh, you know what Dota's measured in? I think it's hammer units. That's what everything that's Steam based is measured in. But he can travel pretty far, and basically he can initiate pretty far. That's another thing. Slark, same concept. If he gets a Shadow Blade, he'll be able to just sneak in, get a leash, and then get an easy kill on top of whoever does show up. But Slark does have to be careful though, because even though Sven can't really hit him, Sven can technically still hit him with his man cleave, which is what I like to man cleavage. Okay, that got weird. But basically, Sven can just do some right clicks on top of some creeps or somebody else and possibly kill Slark, so Slark does need to be careful about that. My question is, how long is it going to take Sven to get his crit online? I think that's going to need to be one of his first few items, not necessarily his very first item, but something like build like Power Treads, Drum of Endurance, crit. I think that's what Sven's build needs to be, mainly because he needs to dish out a lot of damage. Slark is one of those heroes who has a very crappy stat gain, relatively speaking, and I know because I play Builder Draft, and I get Slark all the time, and I know his stat gain is really crappy. Look at that. 1.8 strength, 1.5 agility, and 1.9 intelligence. He gets more intelligence than he gets strength. Guys, come on. He gets more everything instead of agility because of Essence Shift. Anyway. Enough of my complaints about ability draft. Let's go talk about the real game at hand. Slark is a very fragile hero. That's the main thing. His stat gain is not that high. His base stats are not that high either. He's basically a Medusa with like 100 extra HP. That's really what he's sitting at right now. So Sven can actually get some cleave damage or get some crit up very fast, and I think Prophecy will be struggling quite a bit. He might be forced to pop his Shadow Dance way earlier than he wants to, especially considering that Sven can just pop a Stormhammer. If Sven can do a Stormhammer before Dark Pact does come through, then he can get a few right clicks, and then immediately Prophecy has to either pop his Shadow Dance or die. And that could possibly give a lot of easy control for Eury's side. So anyway, so I say all that to say that basically I favor Eury's lineup, although Eury's lineup is going to take until Wisp actually gets to level 6 to actually do much. Anyway, Brewmaster mid versus Death Prophet, that's the lineup we're going to see here. I didn't talk much about Brewmaster, but basically he pops ult and probably wins his team the team fight. Same thing with Death Prophet, she pops ult and probably wins her team the team fight. It really depends. Well, it depends on who has the better positioning, to be honest. But we have Brewmaster versus Death Prophet mid. Brew is going to be putting a few points to clap so he can get those right clicks. And he also has his crit up too. Gonna go ahead and get a nice little slow plus some free damage on Death Prophet, forcing her back away. And speaking of forcing people to back away, we got Ogre Magi plus Slark all by themselves, just doing a crap ton of damage to Tidehunter, who did decide to go for Anchor Smash first. So no Kraken Shell. Looks like Slark wants to get another leash on top of Tide, just forcing these guys to be a little bit more cautious. And Lich is here to help out the Tide. If Tide was all by himself, I'm pretty sure he would have died by now. Anyway, we got Batrider versus Sven. Wisp is doing the pulling thing. She's trying to get her levels, so do what you can. Batrider did eat a nice little stun from Sven already by the looks of it, and Batrider's actually dropping a few sticky napalm stacks with not many right clicks to follow up. Well, Sven does still have to be careful because 4 sticky napalm stacks is generally the time to run. I think 5, maybe 5 now. Did they nerf? They didn't nerf sticky napalm. They nerfed everything else except for sticky napalm. They nerfed everything except for the one thing that makes Batrider like super annoying in ability draft, as far as ability draft goes. Anyway, sorry, my bad guys. Alright, focus on the game, the real world. Ogre Magi is roaming around. He got himself a nice little bounty rune, so he did get some XP for his troubles. And we got the region rune getting picked up by, oh sorry, other way around. Ogre Magi got the region rune, Batrider got the bounty rune down bottom. I'm going to be questioning to see if we see Batrider go for a bottle this game. It will be something he can easily get. CK can't really kill Batrider, and Batrider can't really kill CK with Wisp so close by. And actually, speaking of people being so close by, we got Lich actually taking a nice little chunk of damage. Here comes Witch Doctor Cassie getting a perfect bounce. It's still on 3 bounces, but it's all he really need. Slark going to be able to get the first blow on top of Lich. Tidehunter trying to do what he can to keep his ally alive, but not going to be able to find enough. And this is one of those things, that's basically what Witch Doctor is going to do this whole entire game to Sven Wisp when they do start traveling together. He's going to throw a casket and just walk away as the people die. Cassie, as you can see, doing more or less all of the damage right there. Basically, well, how much damage is it per bounce? It's 75 damage per bounce, and it bounces 2 times. So the initial bounce, and then it bounces 2 times afterwards. So that's 75 times 3. Sorry, I'm doing math. Hold on. This is hard. That's enough damage to equal 321 plus a few right clicks. Okay, there we go. We'll call it that. But basically, Cascade did most of that damage right there. And also, it did most of the control that they needed for that whole entire fight to happen. So, yeah, it's really hard to say how this game should be played out. I think Brewmaster and Wisp should be traveling together, to be honest, because Brewmaster can take a few hits. Wisp can technically take a few hits soon, once Wisp starts starting into like a mechanism and such. But at the same time, I think if we do get into a situation where Witch Doctor is the one causing a lot of issues for Wisp and Sven to actually do things, Brewmaster would be better, or would be a nice alternative for Wisp to follow around with, because Brewmaster can say, oh, you did a bunch of damage to me, I have 10 HP left, pops ult, wins the fight anyway. So that'd be a nice little option available for Eury. And one thing they have available this game they didn't have last time, I think, is an option. We have Brewmaster free crit plus damage on top of Death Prophet. Both of them have bottles, I think. Yeah, both of them have bottles. So it's gonna punch each other and drink a little bit more. Kind of like some people's childhoods. And their parents. Anyway, we got Rotate's coming around the corner. Witch Doctor showing up. We got Brewmaster in a crap ton of trouble. He's going to hit with the Cascade. It's going to be a 1 second stun, but he will be able to continue to run. He's going to take another right click coming from Death Prophet, run as fast as possible. He can use those bottle charges as well. Witch Doctor a little bit too far away. Has another Cascade available in 11 seconds. Sadly, no creep bounces, or no creeps were there. And Wisp, they show up around the corner just to help out too. Healing Salve was used on Brewmaster. Wisp is going to make sure her ally is all healed up. Barrett down bottom eating a nice little storm hammer. Sven might be in a little bit of trouble. He's actually being forced to run away. The pings do come on the map though. They do find the Ogre Magi. Ogre Magi are going to take a lot of damage. Wisp going to be able to get this kill here. One more right click. Actually, she gives it to Brewmaster instead. Very well played. And they get the rune. Slaps in the face all around. Brewmaster finds himself at Illusion Rune. Death Prophet finds himself at Bounty Rune. It's questionable as far as which one's more important. I'm not sure if we, I was going to say, I'm not sure if we're going to see the bottle get handed off to Wisp. Looks like Brewmaster wants to hold on to it for a lot longer. And Brewmaster coming forward, looks like he's going to throw the clap. Actually doesn't. We got a Central place mid. Okay. So Central place mid by Death Prophet, just being very wary of any ganks that may be coming through. Also being wary of any observers that may be placed on the high ground. So she's a little bit suspicious about that. Meanwhile up top, we see Tidehunter all by himself. Lich still doing the denying creeps thing, so he did just use his sacrifice. Trying to make sure Tidehunter has the best time possible farming without being in too much danger. Slark has his 2 points up leash, so that's going to be more damage and lower cooldown. By the way, Pounce on Slark is a really nice ability. This is speaking out of the realm of Village App, just in general, it's a really nice ability. It has an 8-second cooldown. I want to say at one point it used to have a 6-second cooldown, but I don't think that's true. I think I just never looked at it until 6 seconds in cooldown, or 2 seconds past cooldown. Moving into the jungle, we got Barrett and Wisp having a little bit of fun. Barrett did DC, so I'm not sure if they're going to let him run away with his life intact. Looks like Wisp might not be able to do enough damage. She has her spirits available, and they're actually out right now. So she's pulling them out right now. So we'll see. We'll see if they decide to be the good guys and let Barrett go away alive. It's all about that. It's all about that sportsmanship, guys. Come on, we gotta have sportsmanship in this game. Take a look at the items so we can see who has what. Lich has no boots at all, because who needs boots when you move at 315? Is that creeps? Is that creeps move speed? Oh, okay, no, that 10 move speed is faster than that. And also, Death Prophet has no boots either, because she has no intentions of roaming around to gank. All she needs is Witchcraft. She moves at 308 with 2 points in Witchcraft versus Lich's base 315. That's actually kind of funny to see. Meanwhile, around the items, as far as bottles go, it's a bottle on Death Prophet, is also a bottle on Brewmaster. And we see Sven and Tidehunter have their stout shields respectively. They're expected to get some farm. I doubt Tide will get much farm without the Lich doing the sacrifices, but it's okay. Yes. And they're saying ready? Ready. So looks like Wisp is going to try to do some nuke damage to Barrett. Barrett's going to be forced to pop that Firefly and run away. He's going to run immediately towards the creeps. And Sven looking for a Stormhammer. Stormhammer will be available. Looks like the leash does come through. Brewmaster does get himself a kill on top of Barrett. So nice little pick off coming out from him. And Barrett is saying, bro, why you no call miss? Anyway, up top we got Ogre Magic getting a nice little stun on top of Tidehunter. Tidehunter's going to be taking a bunch of damage. Here comes the Death Pack coming from Slark. They're going to be able to get all the right clicks in the world. Tidehunter staying alive because of that magic one, and wow, holy crap. Just took a whole bunch of damage and survived. Man, I wish I showed like the damage recap. Like, screw the kill recap. or fight recap. It was just like the damage that they actually dealt out to Tidehunter. I mean, he survived, so it doesn't really matter much, I guess. But the main thing that kept him alive was, of course, that Kraken Shell. The stun came out from Ogre Magi. He no multicast at all. Probably a multicast if Ogre Magi was level 6 would have killed Tidehunter, but hey, he's still alive, so let's not talk about things that are not actually happening. Like him possibly being dead. Speaking of people possibly being dead, we got a rotation coming around from the support of Ogre Magi. Once again, coming up top, trying to go for a more pulls with the Witch Doctor. They're actually fairly decently leveled, despite the fact that they're doing just jungle pulls by the looks of it. Level 4 and level 3 respectively on Tidehunter and Lich, and level 4 and level 3 respectively on Witch Doctor and Ogre Magi. So both of them are pretty much staying on or within step of the off lane, and that's also not counting the fact that Slark is getting solo XP essentially because he's been all by himself. Level 5 right now versus the enemy Suicide, which is sitting at level. Oh, enemy Suicide is. There's no enemy Suicide. Oh yeah, right. Versus his enemy safe lane person who's sitting at level 6 in the case of Sven. So Sven has a little bit higher level advantage. Bowder is not down bottom. He decided to go into the jungle to collect some farm, immediately making a mad dash down bottom to defend his tower. Doesn't want it to die a little bit or too early. Sven at one point inside of that ulti, he can actually kill this. He can actually kill his tower if he really wanted to. So we're gonna wait for his bracer though. I say if very lightly. We got the Curry coming up top. Wisp did scout up with her spirits. Nobody able to get in range to right click it. We got the pulls going to continue through Witch Doctor and Ogre Magi. Moving back over to mid, we got Wisp showing up to help out the Brewmaster. They could possibly go for a kill until his Death Prophet. Brew is level 7, so he can pop that ult if he wants to. On the same token, Death Prophet is level 7, but she has no ulti available. She did not put any points in it just yet. Gonna wait till level 8. Meanwhile, on top we got Chase from Slark, from Tidehunter onto Slark. Slark is officially level 6, so he's ready to dance. Will he be able to go for it? The Tidehunter, Witch Doctor's stun does come through. Tidehunter's gonna be facing a little bit of damage. Throws out the Anchor Smash immediately. Slark is gonna go for the damage, follow-up damage. Here comes the Kraken Shell. Not gonna be able to save his life now this time. Here comes another Anchor Smash. Tidehunter staying tanky as crap, still alive despite all the damage coming his way. Perfect person to be down there. Meanwhile, Barrett does die down bottom. Looks like a lasso was not used. Sven was able to get the kill on top of him. Wisp did show up to help out too. And Sven feeling a little bit ahead about that. Wisp connecting to a creep, giving that creep a lot of mana. Misclick, of course. Brewmaster rotating towards the rune. He's not going to like what he sees when he finds the Ogre Magi plus a Witch Doctor around the corner. Here comes the Brewmaster split, trying to get the split off. Not going to be able to find the editor. He finally does get it. Just bends over, drops it down. A very awkward positioning. But he does give himself, the courier is going to be able to run away home. Ogre Magi going to go ahead and try to TP out. He will be able to TP out in time. Brewmaster ulti needs to go ahead and start running away. Death Prophet is going to go for Chase. Here comes a stun from the Rock version, and now Brewmaster's in a lot of trouble. Dies officially. Spent a little bit too much trouble trying to get a kill. But he did cause them quite a few issues. And Death Prophet has a double damage run? Wow, why is she hitting that hard? Holy crap. I think Wisp was just very low in HP. So Wisp does go down. No, Death Prophet's just hitting that hard. Wow, okay. That was all right clicks. In one Cryptic Swarm. Max Cryptic Swarm like that. Oh, Overcharge. Okay, was Overcharge? Okay, Overcharge was used. That doesn't increase your incoming damage. That reduces your incoming damage by 5%. Anywho, we got Batwater doing a nice little stack and pull. Sven's going to go ahead and contest the farm, of course, and he's trying to take a last hit. Sadly, he's not able to get him. Wisp is going to go ahead and tether onto Sven just to help him out with his regen, and Sven throws out a Storm Hammer, gets frustrated, throws a Storm Hammer, gets some farm. That's all he can really do. Taking a look at the items around the map, Blink Dagger is available on Brewmaster, so extremely fast Blink Dagger for Brew, 9-minute Blink Dagger. Meanwhile, we have Tidehunter has his Arcane Boots, so he's going to be working on Blink Dagger next, presumably. Power charts are finished up on Sven, plus the drum as well. I really want to see him go for crit. I think he needs crit as fast as possible. He's going to go ahead and go for a stun on top of Batrider, but he's going to go ahead and back away. Likely we'll see Sven go for the Mask of Madness instead, because he does have the Wisp to help him out, of course. And now we got Wisp in a little bit of trouble, going to go ahead and pop that Invis rune to try to run away. The Ghosts are actually doing quite a bit of damage to the Wisp, and Death Prophet did pop her ulti for that. Meanwhile, down bottom we see Sven run as fast as possible can. Baron has his lasso available. Here comes a Casket, going to push Sven into a very bad spot. And Sven is going to be able to survive at the end of the day.
Top tower is getting walloped.
So Sven staying alive, 64 last hits by the looks of it, and 12 denies, quite a few denies, especially versus his counterpart, which would be Slark, who's actually been getting contested a lot as far as farm goes. Tidehunter doing a fantastic job, Lich doing a fantastic job, make sure that lane doesn't get too out of control. And if they can keep Slark contained like this, I think they'll be in a good position because if Sven can get his items up and do much more damage and Slark can actually heal up with his ult, then it's pretty much a wrap from that point on. So the question is, what will Prophecy build next? He has his power treads available. Will he go for that Shadow Blade so he can continue with that maximum move speed, or will he decide to go for something else, like maybe just a flat out Sanji Yasha, so he can actually have more HP plus more mobility? The options are very wide open for us.
Top tower needs bandages.
So if Dire Observer Ward's all up in the jungle, Wuss is hanging on mid, does decide to make the decision to place the Observer Ward, and possibly will be rolling back towards that small or big camp to go for another pull. Meanwhile, at the bottom we see Barrett versus Sven. Sven is going to be able to win this fight because Barrett has no way to go. He's going to go ahead and pop himself a casting right on his feet. Sven didn't even pop his ulti for that. Barrett taking that much damage. To show you guys the fear of Sven. Meanwhile, Death got himself a kill on top of Lich. It looks like Witch Doctor is going to be popping the ulti just to help him get a kill on top of Lich. Lich does drop his ulti just to stop the Witch Doctor ult. And now we got Witch Doctor taking a bunch of damage. One more blast to the face is all Lich needs. He's not going to be able to find the mana for it. He does go down. Too much heal coming from Witch Doctor. Heal is OP. Meanwhile, Brewmaster does get himself a kill on top of the Death Prophet using that Blink Dagger plus that ulti as well just to help him get that kill. But I think Lich denied a creep that was like relatively low in HP, so he got like 10 mana or something. I know we can check the logs. Oh, we're not gonna be able to check the logs. Oh, that's so stupid. We can't check the logs. Anywho, the log doesn't tell me jack squat. Lich denied a creep, didn't get enough mana, he died. GG. That's all that matters. Top tower, took a nice little chunk of damage. The Fortify is available for the Radiant, so they can use it if they need to. Slark running on top, just being a nice little slippery scaler. He's going to go ahead and go for that drum instead, so he can actually get some more survivability. Meanwhile, mid, we got the rotation coming in. Ogre Magi has just enough mana for a stun. Will they decide to go for a kill on top of Brewmaster? Probably not. And oh look, Sven plus Wisp. Wisp is level 6, so Sven is going to be able to freely farm wherever he wants and just relocate in with Wisp whenever they need him. So he's probably going to hang out bottom for like, you know, the rest of the game. Just put on his best Brewmaster in impersonation. Meanwhile, on top we got Slark actually trying to run away from Tidehunter. Tidehunter getting a nice little gush, plus some damage. Ravage is available as well, plus the Blink Dagger is already online. I think I already pointed that out. Meanwhile, Spin's on a little bit trouble. Here comes for casting from Witch Doctor. He's going to be bouncing some of creeps, and Wisp will be the first one to get on. Spin getting caught in the last, so he's going to be going down as well. Easy kill, nice little pick off. These guys did a fantastic job of their rotation, but they did use 4 different resources to actually get that kill. Slark did show up to help out as well. Death Prophet getting that final hit. It looks like they're trying to rush to get this ulti on top of this tower. They need to use that ulti as effectively as possible, and they will in fact use it. Meanwhile, mid we got Brewmaster and Lich trying to do their due diligence of pushing this tower. Defense trying to come in from Tidehunter, but he can't really blink into that. It's a little bit too violent for him to go in for. Especially with the Death Prophet ulti going through, which is finally going to go away. Will we see a relocate from Wisp? I think we should. Time to throws out the Ravage, trying to go for the kills on Witch Doctor, trying to get the easy kill. TPs are coming through. Brewmaster blinks in, beautiful clap. He's going to be able to catch one. Needs enough mana to go and pop his ulti. Does get silenced up by a Death Prophet. He finally has enough mana to actually pop his ulti. He'll be able to blink in. Relocate coming from Wisp, and they're going to go for the kill on top of his Death Prophet. Death Prophet does, or he's going to be able to make it out of his own alive. We got Slark getting visioned all over the place, trying to run away as fast as he possibly can. Going to finally be able to cut that corner, get that Shadow Dance going through, but the Wisp spirits are being as obnoxious as possible. Brewmaster with the clap. Here comes shot. Slark forced to pop that ulti. Wisp does get forced back to home because her ulti did run out, and Brewmaster continuing the chase does in fact go back home. But Slark's death pack, like I said before, Slark doesn't have a lot of HP. Basically, he jumps into a fight, he might have the best possible engagement, and then suddenly has no HP, forced to pop a death pack to either stay alive or die. And without death pack, of course, he would have died. So it's actually a good thing that he didn't use it a little bit earlier. Of course, I would miss the fight recap. My bad, guys. But I'll catch you next time around. So our items are showing us Blink Dagger on Brewmaster, Blink Dagger on Tidehunter. We got Brewmaster blinking in, easy kill on top of Ogre Magi. Silence coming up from Death Prophet, not going to be enough, but Brewmaster's ulti's still in line. Spin's ulti's still in line too. They're going to just go ahead and manhandle this tower, and they're possibly going to go for the next tower as well. And Spin also, by the way, is getting healed up by the Wisp. I'm trying to see what he's going for. He's going to go for that Mask of Madness for that easy right click. And probably crit immediately after. Meanwhile, in the jungle, I hear Tornado stick up on Death Prophet. Lich going to be going down. Yo, bro, Lich, I heard you like living. I'm going to go ahead and kill you right fast. Dead. Lich is dead.
Dire's middle tower is in the wrong end of business.
Tidehunter around the corner. Blink Dagger's ready. Witch Doctor, easy pick off. They're going to try to go for it. He's getting surrounded though. Tidehunter is immediately surrounded. He's going to get hit on. Blink over to the Death Prophet. Get a nice little gush. Death Prophet force spot Magic Wand. Ogre Magi going for the stun. Trying to keep her out alive. Barrow Lasso is available. He's going to try to look for a good target. Not going to be able to find one. Witch Doctor ulti going to be going through. They need to go and pop that Lasso on top of somebody useful like a Spin. And Spin does get a stun off before it happens. So Witch Doctor's damage does officially end. Meanwhile, Spin pull onto the high ground or pull onto the low ground. Buyback immediately come out from Witch Doctor. He wants wants to get a cast on top of something useful. Not going to be able to find it on anybody. Spins in a high-speed chase, running away as fast as possible can. The force staff from Ogre Magi in the wrong direction. Stun does come through, spin a little bit of trouble. Here comes the Casket, pushing him back. Brewmaster ulti still available. He has not used it. Witch Doctor Casket doing nice little bounces. Witch Doctor going to be going down again for his troubles. Brewmaster force pops ulti. Here comes a stun. In a few seconds, catches the Bat Rider, and Bat Rider is going to burn to death. He will be dying at the end of the day. And Tyrants are just blinking and hit confirmed is hit confirmed. Brewmaster uses this nice little Storm running, beautiful job, catches a Slark. Sadly, nobody had a follow-up stun, so Slark was able to leap away just in time. And I think that's really going to be it. Brewmaster ulti's down, Ogre Magi has a stun available. The fight recap showing us all the damages that happened, but we got more happening. Lich ulti going to bounce around, Death Rider popping her ulti too, doing a whole bunch of damage to Wisp. Slark wasn't in position for them to actually do anything. Brewmaster does officially go down, dodging a few things. Wisp does go down finally. Tornado Stick is used on top of Lich, and Lich will be the last one to die. Looks like the cleanup crew is officially available. 4 kills going the way of OG immediately after, and like I said before, guys, I expected this game to be a lot more action-packed. Eury did do a fantastic job of defending the base, and they are doing a fantastic job of playing, but it looks like OG are still keeping their foot on that gas pedal. They're trying to make sure they keep the advantage because they know they need a snowball. If they lose any bit of momentum, I think they may just end up in a situation where Sven gets so big that they just can't do jack squat. So they really need to make sure they stay scrappy and stay in this game, and they did just that. The only drawback to everything that they've done so far was just the Witch Doctor buying back and dying immediately. But outside of that, fantastic job, fantastic play from OG, and also fantastic play from Eury. Sadly, their abilities were down when the response, the counter initiation to the initiation happened. So taking a look at the gold graph so we can see how it went. Eury had a fantastic lead, but it all just got dropped down like crazy. If you guys don't know how to read graphs, the way graphs work is the steeper the curve, and by curve I mean slope, so the steeper the drop or rise, that shows that it happened in a lot faster time period. So we see a gradual increase in the goal graph as this game goes along, but once we got to this point right here, in this little small portion of time, it just dropped straight down. And that means that that just shows that OG were able to get themselves a lot of gold to change hands. They were also able to get themselves a tower, and on top of that, they got themselves they got Eury to waste a few abilities, possibly set people back a little bit. Tide already has his Blink Dagger, so I'm not going to send him back too terribly much. Sven is working on a BKB next instead of a Mask and Bandit, so I actually like that choice. We got a relocate gank coming in from Sven plus Wisp looking for Ogre Magi. Sven looking for a stun. Not going to be able to find it. We'll be able to find it, but I'm not sure if he wants to go in this. We got TP coming in immediately from whoever that was, but they do cancel. They're going to let Ogre Magi go ahead and die. And meanwhile, the Radiance Courier does die, losing a whole bunch of gold. 1675. I think that's a Perseverance. That sounds like a Perseverance. Meanwhile, around the corner, what's going on? We got Slark getting himself a kill on top of one person, trying to run away. Not going to be able to run away. Spin, Stormhammer will follow through just in time. He will be going down, and by he I mean Slark. Slark does die. I think he's the one who claimed the Courier kill. Show the fight recap. We see. Oh, no Courier. Courier doesn't get shown. Oh, I'm sad. Yeah, we've got all the abilities he can use. Blink Dagger is up on Brewmaster. We already called that out. I thought we were going to see a Blink Dagger on Sven, which we do see from time to time. Death Rider silences Sven up immediately. Sven going to go ahead and try to deny this tower. Death Rider going to get herself the last few right clicks, using that Tornado Stick effectively, of course. It's just a fight that's all over the place. Fantastic job on both sides, by the way. I mean, I keep saying it, but I do really mean it. We see the XP graph showing that OG do have the advantage. They're going to lose it a little bit because they are playing a little bit more together than they are as far as like farming separately. And outside of that, Witch Doctor versus Lich. Who's going to win the fight? Witch Doctor has a haste rune as well. He can drop his ulti if he wants to. He's going to go and drop a stun, drops the ulti. Lich taking a bunch of damage. I think Lich should be able to survive this though. Lied. He does. A little bit too much damage. Witch Doctor too much swag. Stick a bone in it, you're done is what he just said. Lich did a little bit more damage, but I think this is not representative of the damage that Witch Doctor actually put out. Death Warrior definitely did almost max damage. And I think max damage for Death Warrior was like 2400 at level 1 or something like that. It's something ridiculous. Let me go ahead and look that up real fast. The total damage that Death Warrior can do. So like assuming that it goes this full whatever duration. Emerald Shell is going to get done by Death Rider ulti. They're going to go ahead and take advantage of the ulti this time around. And there's no tier 1 towers left, so why not just go ahead and collect Aegis while you're at it. I don't think these guys have any clue that this is going on. It's been really trying hard to work for that BKB. They're going to do whatever you can to actually get it through. It's like Witch Doctor ulti does 2,182 damage, assuming that it channeled the whole entire 8 seconds, which looked like it might have channeled like 6 seconds or so. And that's at level 1. Anyway, So Rashawn does officially go down. They are pinging the roast pit saying, hey, they're doing roast. Hey guys, they're doing roast. Guys, they're doing roast. They're going to go in for a spin, looking for a stun. Not going to be able to find it. Both Death Prophet and Ogre Miser are going to be forced to stay into the pit. They are going to go ahead and TP out. Death Prophet going to use her illusion. They're going to go for it. Oh, a Ravage almost got used. Holy crap, if Ravage got used, that would have been huge for these guys. But Death Prophet is still inside that inside that roast pit. She has a BKB available too, so she can get rid of the stun from Sven. Nice pickup item for her. What does Slark have? Slark is working on a BKB of his own. Actually, went for a Blink Dagger instead, so completely turning the build around 180 from what I was saying before. And like I said, Sky Shadow Blade, you don't have to do it. Blink Dagger a little bit better because it can get into those positions to actually pick off somebody like Wisp or Lich. That's the main thing. If he can get the jump on somebody, he can easily kill him. Dark Pack is maxed out, so that's 300 free damage. That's basically all of Wisp's HP plus a right click and a leash. Leash actually does a crazy amount of damage as well. A lot of people underestimate the damage that Leash does, but it does a whole entire 240 damage. And Dark Pack, so between Dark Pack and Leap, or Pounce, my bad, does, was that 540 damage? Plus 2 or 3 right clicks from Slark, that's pretty much Wisp already dead. I would not be surprised if we saw Sven get a Blink Dagger. He's waiting for his BKB. He should have to go for it now. That should be BKB goal right there, bro. Yeah, we got somebody up top taking a bunch of damage. We got Slark going toe-to-toe with Brewmaster. Brewmaster going to be able to survive, of course, because he has a Vlad's, duh. But no, Brewmaster has a Vlad's. It's going to give Sven a lot more sustainability. Also, he has his Blink Dagger on the line, so he can just, he has ulti on the line, so he could just pop his ult if things did get really bad. Speaking of things getting really bad, Wish Doctor's down bottom. Plus Death Prophet. How's our BKB available, by the way? And an Aegis. More annoyance. Because what's worse than a Death Prophet with a Tornado Stick? A Death Prophet with a Tornado Stick and a BKB. Of course. Of course, guys, of course. Take a look at the net worth that we see on everybody. We see that the most valuable person right now is the Death Prophet, sitting on her BKB plus her Tornado Stick. So she's fairly rich. She has 8 kills to her name, 106 last hits. Holy crap. Just a bunch of farms. Like, she has money that she doesn't know what to do with yet. I'm expecting to see her get a Sheep Stick, though. BKB into Sheep Stick would be a nice item for her to have. It's just to make sure Sven doesn't do anything when his damage actually does come through. Sven taking quite a long time to actually finish up his Masking Madness or to actually get himself crit, which I really do think is one of his items that he really needs. He needs to get his damage online as soon as possible. Of course, we are not past that 30-minute mark just yet, which I think Sven, if we consider him a hard carry, Olin home, we got Bauer going in for a last on top of Brewmaster. Brewmaster getting pulled into the worst thing possible. Going to get silenced up as well. BKB does get popped by Death Prophet, just to make sure she doesn't take anything. Exploded. Brewmaster exploded. We got Slug coming in too. Tidehunter is going to be able to drop himself an ult if he wants to. He's going to force the TP out. Does officially go down. Double kill going for Death Prophet. Eury just basically falling apart right now to the Death Prophet. Push and damage and all the support and stuff that we have around the corner. That's pretty much it. That Bounding Tower is going to be going down. Pretty much nothing really got used by Eury's squad. Basically, Lich armor and some power trade changes. That's really it. Masking Man is officially up on Sven, so he will be able to get him more right click. We got a relocate getting used. They're going to come right into the side of this fight. I don't know if they really want to go for it, but I think Worcester's relocated in solo. We got Brewmaster blinking forward, looking for a kill. Not gonna be able to find it. Actually, just throws his Drunken Haze on top of one and forced everybody else to run back. Sven really wishes he had a Blink Dagger right now, because if he did, he would be able to Blink Dagger and drop himself a stun. Blink and drop a stun. Double force that coming from Witch Doctor. He does not want to die right now. His team keep him alive. We got a pulse coming from Death Prophet. Lag on Slark. Speaking of lag on Slark, we see Slark sitting pretty much at the same items. I don't really see anything changing. Nothing really big happening just yet as far as items. I mean, Sven has his Masking Man, his BKB. That's really it.
Now where were we?
Tide is working on. It looks to be a. It's actually curious to see now. Okay, he's working on a refresher. Yeah, Tide's working on a refresher. We're talking about the Agnum Scepter, which would be fantastic. Once, oh no. Sorry, just spilled pretzels. Hold on, give me a second. Alright, we're good. I saved it. I got it, guys. I got it. I saved it. I supported my pretzels by not letting them die. Anywho, right, back to real life, which is the Dota life, of course. We see Witch Doctor build himself the Aghanim Scepter, which is a fantastic item for 4.5. I do like the fact that he went for 4 staff first. That will help him get out of those sticky situations like a Brewmaster Clap or a Lich Ice Blast. And also help him if after a Spin Stun. We saw it happen last time. He basically forced himself forward, Spin Stun finally hit him, and then he got 4 staffed forward by his allied Bat Rider. So 4 staff, really nice item to help him out with his mobility and help him get out of those bad situations. Still, one of Spin's biggest issues right now is that he can get kited to death, which is more or less what we've seen a few times. I don't think he's actually died. He's died once. But he can get kited to death in the sense that you can just run around, like just slow him down and run away, and Spin can't do anything except for just be mad and yell more. That's really about it. But as far as the rest of the items though, nothing really impressive happening just yet. I mean, Death Prophet has the most gold. We mentioned that a few times already. As far as hero levels, let's take a look at that. Death Prophet has wow. She's level 17 already. We're only 24 minutes of the game. Death Prophet level 17. She has maxed out ulti. She has maxed out everything, max farm. Slark is almost level 16 as well, so he does have that max movement speed essentially when he's not visioned or in vision. As you can see right there, power treads plus a drum basically equals max movement speed. I think he could probably do without the drums and still get max movement speed with level 2 of his ulti, which is 33%? Yeah, 35% bonus movement speed. So far, though, we see ourselves in a bit of a situation. Tidehunter's working on what looks to be a refresher. And once they do have the refresher online, that's pretty much all they control. It's pretty much all the control that they'll have. And it's a very, very, very short period of time for control that they'll have. It's basically like, what, if Tide times it perfectly, and it's absolutely perfectly, he'll give his team, what was it, about 4 seconds worth of time to actually go for a kill on top of people. And assuming Slark didn't pop his death pack before he saw Tide blink in, that's not really a lot of time to kill Slark. Slark is going to get beefier and beefier as the game goes on. I'm expecting to see him get a BKB or something of the sort, maybe just a straight up Scotty after this. So that way he can actually have more stats to survive all these right clicks or all this nuke damage coming up from Eury's side. With all that said, once Spin does get his damage up, he has his Mask of Madness finish. I keep talking about it because it's definitely an important point. Spin really needs to give himself crit. I mean, just look at the damage that he's doing right now without crit. Imagine if he had a Chrysalis, he just that could be the enemy team. But instead of 6 right clicks, it can take 2 right clicks to do all that. So of course, Eury may be a little bit down, but they are definitely not out. If we take a look at the gold graph, it's showing that OG do have a nice gold advantage. I think that's more so tower advantage than everything else. If we balance out the towers, the tower advantage is 1 tower in favor of OG. So it's actually, okay, all that's really killing Roshan damage. Technically Roshan's tower. It's about 1,000 gold for everybody. So we got Spin, Wisp hanging out on top. They can relocate mid if they really need to. Wisp, wait for the moment. I think Wisp is going to go ahead and get rid of relocate. Spin popped this Mask of Madness though, that might be a bad thing. Especially if the teamfight does need to happen here at the tower. Tower is not going to get fortified because no fortifications available. It does go down without much of a fuss. They are going to go ahead and try to kill it. The TP scrolls are available for the side of OG, so they can all mass TP in if they really need to. Look at the TPs getting used. Spin immediately popped himself that war cry. Wants to get out of there. Witch Doctor, I think Witch Doctor can probably solo these guys once he gets his Aegis, or once he gets his Aghanim Scepter. Spin going to go ahead and hide in the trees. Witch Doctor going to go ahead and see if he can try to go for a chase. Spin does TP out in time. And Wisp going to be the last one left. Oh man, the Observer Wars was scouted, or did scout the Wisp. And we got Tornado Stick used by Death Prophet. It can't get used. Wisp waiting for the Tornado Stick. Needs to go ahead and TP out now. Looks like oh man, the next level jukes. Oh no, holy crap, they actually give up. They assumed that Wisp got away. But Wisp is just chilling there. And now Wisp just casually TPs away. Holy crap. Wisp is just waiting for the Tornado Stick to come out from Death Prophet. And it's just going to TP out. But it looks like they just like, oh darn, she's over there. Darn it, she got away. And Wisp is like, okay, I'll TP away now. So nice little play. The mind games are strong with these ones. That's right, guys. Oh, also, fun fact. If you want to learn how to juke very well, just don't. The best jukes you can do most of the time is just to not juke. Just to go the normal, expected path. Anywho, all that aside, we got the pings coming around the map all around the place. Spin in a little bit of trouble, gets lassoed up by the Barrow. The Barrow does his force stab. He's going to pull Spin to a very bad spot. Spin does have his crit available though, so he can do quite a bit of damage. We got Relocate coming around the corner from Wisp. I'm expecting it here in a few seconds. Actually, no, it does not come through. Beautiful rabbits coming from Titan Hunter. Titan Hunter does catch everybody inside of that. Spin's BKB is down. He's going to go for an easy kill on top of on top of the Ogre Magi. Silence does come through for Death Prophet. Death Prophet going to do a whole bunch of physical damage on top of Spin. I'm lagging like a baller, but that's really how it goes. When things do become crazy, things do become crazy, but it's a lot of lag happening for me right now. Spin taking a bunch of damage too, and we got Barrett around the corner, about to die to a Lich. I'm pretty sure I wasn't the only one feeling all that lag. We got Slark stuck in the tornado right now. Brewmaster ulti is still going through.
Now where were we?
And what we'll see is Sven running away from a trail of ghosts. He has the ladies chasing after him because he's such a man. Speaking of being such a man, we got Time to getting chased because he is also a Leviathan, which is close enough to a man. Meanwhile, I got Brewmaster going toe-to-toe with looks like Witch Doctor plus Slark. Time to does officially go down. Witch Doctor heal himself up. Brewmaster trying to get that last hit, not going to be able to find it. And Witch Doctor just being so freaking evasive, despite the fact that he's a freaking support. He has the Aghanim Scepter available though, so he did do a crap ton of damage. And Brewmaster can't blink away. Actually, no, he cannot. He does get leashed up, does take a bunch of damage, doing a bunch of right clicks to Slark, almost killing Slark. Sadly, Slark did continue to steal his stats. I think if Slark did not have stat steal, of course, Brewmaster would have possibly survived. Yeah, all of that started because Spin was a little bit too far ahead, and I was really expecting to relocate for Wisp from Wisp to actually relocate in somebody like a Tide Hunter, so she can actually be involved in the fight and maybe take Spin out if things got too hairy for him. So it's really exciting fight, of course. And really crazy things do happen. Really crazy things do really happen in Dota. Does Death Prophet have a heart? Oh my gosh, Death Prophet has a heart. Talk about unkillable. Carry Death Prophet is carry Death Prophet. We got Tyrants who are going to go ahead and blink for it, do a little bit of damage. Death Prophet does have BKB available. Nobody has a stun to actually stop her. Nothing can go through BKB except for damage. And Spin's a little bit too far away. Speaking of Spin, like I said, his crit's available. So it's actually good. I'm waiting for a Daedalus to come up on him so he can just have that much more damage. I think, what's the next item for him? He can't rebuild his BKB. He's only used it once, so that's actually good. The next item for Spin would probably be... Oh, Basher, right. Okay, Basher would be good. Basher would give him strength, he'd give him damage, which strength is damage for him. Oh my god, look at the damage though. 3 red clicks kills a whole entire wave of creeps. Smoke of the Sea getting used. Smoking on top of Brewmaster, he needs to be very careful. Going to go ahead and use those bottle charges. Does get scouted out. They do know he's over there. And now Witch Doctor shows up. Brewmaster needs to blink out immediately. He does blink just as soon as Witch Doctor, or as soon as Barrett blinks. So does Brewmaster. That's what I'm telling them on that, but they do know that he's around the corner, so I don't know. The question is, will they actually jump on him or not? Looks like they're going to go ahead and just push this base down bottom. Roshan's up in 11 seconds, as you guys see from the timer right there. And Death Prophet going to go ahead and pop that ulti, just be super tanky. Brewmaster forced to blink out immediately. Throws out the Drunken Haze on top of Death Prophet. Fortify already used. We got the whole entire Radiant Squad going to go ahead and come in. Brewmaster does get hit with the lasso. Looks like Lich ulti going to bounce around and do a whole bunch of work. And we got a nice little chunk of damage coming on top of Ogre Magi. He goes down. Lich ulti bouncing around. Slark does give himself a kill on top of the Ancient, but looks like Death Prophet does officially go down. The killing streak officially lost. Witch Doctor using an ulti on top of the high ground. Nobody can do anything. Sin finally throws out a stun. Nice little observer ward getting used by these guys. Witch Doctor almost having like the maximum amount of damage, and Witch Doctor now officially in trouble. So is Tide Hunter. Tide Hunter should be able to survive all this though. Sven's going to go for the chase. Witch Doctor has nowhere to run except for the high ground. Sven, no blink dagger available. Going to be forced to run in the opposite direction. And like I said, Eury have been putting on some fantastic defenses. I guess that one's kind of more like a wash. They did still lose their tier 3 tower, but on the same token, they did take down 3 other people on OG side, and they only lost 2 of their own. So a nice fair trade. Spin was the only one who used the BKB on the side of Eury, and I think he's the only one who has a BKB, to be honest. But we also see 2 BKBs getting used by OG side, both on Slark and Death Prophet. So resource-wise, Eury used the more efficient resources because they, Eury technically won out on the resource side because they didn't use anything that's like, detrimental, like one-time use things like PKBs, specifically PKBs. But in the case of actual tower and map control, OG do have more map control and tower control, mainly because, well, Death Prophet can easily take those Raxes by herself. So if she can just basically walk in, drop her ult, and just like stays there for like 5 or 6 seconds, she could possibly kill both these Raxes. Of course, with the help of maybe a wave of creeps, but still. The main point I'm trying to get at is that resource-wise, as far as like resources on heroes, Eury did win out in that fight because they used less BKBs. Granted, they have less BKBs, but still they used less BKBs. In OG side, they can't reclaim those BKB charges. Which, speaking of which, we have Death Prophet who's on a Death Prophet's on a 6-second BKB charge. Slark is on, he probably should be on an 8-second BKB charge now. And Sven, he's only on an 8-second BKB charge. So it's still a lot of potential for Eury to have a higher damage output, especially once Tidehunter gets that refresh orb online, because his Ravage was freaking on point. He basically Brewmaster got blunked in and lassoed by Batrider. Batrider force-staffed out. Tidehunter blinked in, popped a beautiful Ravage, caught everybody involved in OG squad except for probably Witch Doctor. And if he had a refresh in that fight, I think that would have been much more or less all but over. Sven was ready, and he was right-clicking. He actually got himself a kill or two. Let's see, how many kills did he get? Yeah, Sven got himself a kill or two, and by that I mean he actually killed 2 people. Killed Ogre Magi, he also killed Death Prophet. And the other kill went the way of... who got the other kill? Who killed Death Prophet? No, Sven killed Death Prophet, Sven killed Ogre Magi. Who killed Batrider, some might say. Can't tell. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Long story short, Batrider's dead. I don't know if Sven got a triple kill on that. Could have, very possible. But Sven has a bunch of gold, and he's going to go ahead and give himself a Daedalus. He has it officially built up. 24 or 2,600 gold. 24 is all he really needs. The Curry's going to go ahead and pick up that item for him, and he'll have a nice little victory. Nice little victory flight. Alright, take a look at the rest of the items though. We see nothing really changing. Tidehunter's still working for his refresher, which I think that's 1,800 as far as the recipe goes. One of these things is 1,800 for recipes, I'm just saying. Yes, thank you. Jeez, I know I wasn't crazy. 1,800 for the recipe for the refresher, so Tide is about 400 gold away from that. He should have enough, just barely enough mana to use his Ravage twice and maybe Anchor Smash in between. And looks like everybody's ready to go. So now all Sven needs to save up for is buyback, really, and possibly get an AC afterwards. Just looking at some more damage.
Radiant's bottom barracks have a situation.
But the observers for the dire side, I just realized they're all up in the jungle. They're just all over the place. There's observer there, observer there, observer there. Basically, the path that the Radiant would take to see if they can contest Roshan. That is essentially where the observers for the dire are. And it looks like those are fairly recent too. So they are planning on going for Roshan after this. OG are going to be going for Rosh after this. That's basically what that's telling me right now. No gym or anything on the side of Eury's side to speak of. There is a gym on Batrider, so I can actually do some dewarding. That's really about it. Slark is in fact working on Scotty next for his big item. Death Prophet's working on looks to be a Shiva's Guard, so she can slow down the attack speed of Sven and also survive the right click of Sven. She does have a bunch of HP now, so you want to have armor to protect your HP, because for essentially every 1 point of HP or 1 point of armor that you have, you increase your effective HP by 6%. So she's effectively increasing her effective HP by 60% from physical damage. And versus Sven, that's actually going to be fantastic, because Sven will crit for a whole bunch, but she won't die as fast until somebody gets a Desolator. Anywho, like I said, totally called it, guys. Obvious, Stratus, obvious. We see the Dire going to be going to go ahead for Roche. We got the Radiant running towards it. The Dire do have the Observers in place. They do know that they're running towards the Roche pit. And, oh my gosh, sorry, my mouse is doing things. So making a beeline towards the Roche pit. Tidehunter's Ravage is not online for another 15 seconds, and Brewmaster does reveal himself. We're going to go ahead and use those spears to scout out. Death Prophet ulti hasn't been used. Sven gets a nice little stun to Ogre Magi. Gonna go for some damage. Here comes Death Prophet ulti. Here comes BKB as well. Lich ulti gonna go ahead and bounce around. Slark leaps in from the side. Gonna go ahead and find himself a Lich. And Lich ulti is still gonna continue to bounce around, doing no damage at all, but just slowing people down. Slark force pops ulti. Ravage from Tidehunter does pop. Catches Slark in the very end, and Sven gives himself a double kill. He's gonna chase in Death Prophet. She's running as fast as possible can. Witch Doctor ulti bouncing around, doing a whole bunch of damage to Sven. Sven will be not going down. Holy crap, very close to it though. And now we get a dead Brewmaster here in a few seconds. Brewmaster has a clap available. That's really bad. It actually has no clap available. Does officially go down. Witch trying to go for see if she can save somebody. Gonna go ahead and try to drop the relocate. And actually just drops herself an overcharge. Lets Brewmaster blink away. Surprisingly, nobody on Eury's side dying in that whole entire fight. Holy crap. Fantastic team fight. Sven survives, everybody else survives. Slark almost lost his life in that whole entire thing. Tidehunter has his refresher available. He's getting chased by Slark, and Slark does run away, because he can't really do much. He needs to Scotty up online so he can actually continue to chase like that. But yes, a fantastic fight coming out from the Radiant. Even though the Dire knew about it, they knew it was coming for him. They knew everything was coming for him in that direction. Or sorry, that direction. They just literally just held fast. and continued to sorry, it seemed like they got caught off guard by it. They being the Dire, because Organizer got caught on the worst spot possible, and then I don't know, things just happened. Issues went through. So Rosh gonna be going down. H is getting picked up by Slark. So he's gonna be even harder to kill. And we see Slark gonna go ahead and pick himself up with Scotty, so he will have that to help kite Sven, and also help slow down Sven's attack speed. Speaking of slowing down Sven's attack speed, how close is Death Prophet to that Shiva's guard? Not very. Not very. She's about, what's that? She's a Mystic Staff plus a cheap recipe. And you can also disassemble a Shiva's guard, by the way. I didn't realize that until, like, a while ago. It's like, holy crap, you can disassemble this? So you can make a sheep stick afterwards. You can be efficient with your items. Holy crap, you just waste 600 gold on a recipe, of course, but still. Anyway, rotation, smoke and getting used by the Radiant. They're going to come up top, see if they can find anything. Don't find anything but farm. And Sven and Titan to do reveal the fact that they're smoked. We got the pings do come up top. Bauer is leading the charge by the looks of it. They are coming towards the top lane to defend this tier 2 tower. They do not want to lose anything for free. Titan just ravages up in 20 seconds. He also has a refresher available. Sven going to go ahead and just have a go at that tower. And just try not to get jumped on. And doesn't want to get jumped on. Looking for... Definitely looking for a silence or something. And actually Sven has a blink dagger now. Yes, Sven has a blink dagger. I was waiting for that. Bauer looking for a lasso, not gonna be able to find it. Actually forced to force himself out. Lich going to go for some little damage. Slark trying to go toe to toe with the Wisp and does get the kill on Wisp. BKB getting popped. Beautiful Ravage coming for Titan. So he has another Ravage available here in a few seconds. Gonna go ahead and use it. Actually gets stunned up by Ogre Magic. Lost all of his mana. Not enough mana to actually pop 2 Ravages. Second Ravage can come through. He needs to go ahead and use it. Does not. It's not able to use it. Loses all his mana in time. Or too soon. And now officially we see the whole entire Radiant squad gonna be going down. Lich ulti bouncing around doing a nice little chunk of damage. Not gonna be able to do enough. Brewmaster ulti finally going off. I didn't realize it did not go off before. But we got somebody going toe to toe with these guys, and that was a wild Lich. He was the last one to survive. And speaking of being the last one to survive, Brewmaster trying to be the man to hold his team together. Going to be actually dying in his ulti form. He does way too long. And he has nowhere to really run, getting slowed up by Slark, Scotty. And Brewmaster, oh man, he blinks to the side, Slark actually blinks with him, and now Slark's going to go for the leash. Will he be aside? Brewmaster does in fact go down. Very close to surviving now. Very, very, very close. One more invasion is all he really needed. So it's good. Let's definitely show that fight recap. Okay. Okay, Dota. That's not what I want to see. It's not what I want. Oh my gosh. Depressed me is depressed. But this game is more or less in OG's hand. They have what they need to actually make sure Sven doesn't become a factor anymore. Sven's damage output, the era of Sven is officially gone. It doesn't really matter. Slark is a little bit too fat for them to actually do anything with. And Bauer has a little bit too much control. He's proven time and time again that he can get in and get those lassos, even if he gets an awkward engagement. He can still get those lassos on those important targets. And Wisp also keeps getting picked off pretty darn fast. I think Slark is making it his top priority to make sure Wisp dies, because that's essentially 20% of Sven's attack speed. Is that 20%? No, it's just, what's that? Tether's only at level 1, as we expected. Attack speed. Where's the attack speed increase? No, it's just attack slow. Anyway, long story short, Overcharge is 20% damage reduction. That's 70 attack speed as well. So that's like, was that 70% of Sven's attack speed is coming from Wisp? Because of that. And he's now officially hitting really hard, but that Mask of Madness is coming back to bite him in the butt a little bit. He needs to go ahead and give himself an AC online. And Death Prophet probably has Shiva's Guard available. So something's falling out too. Yes, that is in fact Shiva's Guard. And we got a Basher coming up on Slark too. So he's definitely going to be able to deal with the Sven. Especially once he gets himself an A-Blade, that means Sven can't do jack squat. It's a guaranteed stun. And oh, by the way, Prophecy has Aegis still. So these guys can actually go ahead and kill those tier 2, or kill those Raxes on that bottom lane. Just get themselves a very, very, very easy thing as far as easy victory. We got the wraparound gank coming out from Eury's side. So looking to see if they can get it. I think they might have a nice engagement. Titans' Ravage is available, but he doesn't have the refresher for another 25 seconds. They're going to go for it anyway. Sven popping the ulti, popping all his abilities. He can't blink in. They are going to get called back. Beautiful ulti coming up from Titans. He does cut himself a wild Slark. And also, Wishlock's ulti is going to get used and doing a whole bunch. He does a massive amount of damage. Actually, essentially doing all the damage in that whole entire fight. BKB is up on him as well. Here comes the GGs. We got Eury going to be going down. OG have proven to be a little bit too strong. Death Prophet proven to be a little bit too strong. Slark proven to be a little bit too farmed. And really, it's just Brewmaster. Last one left alive. He does stay alive though. And that's going to be it for this match, guys. I want to see that fight recap, but they won't let me see it. That's going to be it. OG do prove to be a little bit more powerful, a little bit more than Eury can handle. And Oblisque Gaming claimed the victory. So that's going to be it for this match, guys. My name is Blue. I suppose you guys this match in the Join Dota League. This has been OG versus Eury, or Oblisque, or Oblisque, my bad. Oblisque Gaming versus I still can't pronounce this. Jeez, I'm bad at pronunciation. Hold on. It matters. It's like Eury, Eureka or something like that. Unanimous, something like that. I still can't pronounce it. But it was a very enjoyable game. I liked the fact that Eury did continue to defend as hard as they could, but sadly, Slark got a little bit out of control. Death Prophet got a little bit out of control, and then Witch Doctor shows up with his ult doing all the damage in the world. That's basically it for this game, though. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys want to check out my other stuff, you can check out my YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/coolbluedota. That's CULBLUDOTA. I do my Dota 2 commentaries, and I post them there because it's fun. Why not? Also, if you guys want to check out my other channels, which I have 2 other channels. I have my vlog channel, which I do vlogs, generally video game related, and also I have my Casters Network channel. You can find all those on my main YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/coolbluedota. That's CULBLUDOTA. Go ahead and go there. You'll see them linked on the side. Go check them out. They're really awesome. Castnet's my 3rd channel, by the way. And that's really it. So hope you guys enjoyed the game. Fantastic play from both sides. OG, of course, proving to be a little bit stronger. And that's really it. So hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys whenever.